Well, hello everyone. Welcome to our latest webinar. I'm so excited to have you all on it. Hey, Sue Ann, is my screen sharing? Let's make
I can
sure.
see you.
You can see me, but can you make sure it's that?
There it is. I can see it now.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, welcome everybody um, to a very exciting, fun discussion that we're going to have about the webinar, the Applied Net 2025. My favorite conference I ever go to. It's just so much fun, so much energy there, a lot of great exhibitors there, etc. But welcome to this, and we just want to be helpful to you. So, a little bit about Archway. We started in 2011, and I've got this right here. Don't know if you guys can see this, but this is AppliedNet 2014. I think that was the third Applied Net that we went to. Um, uh, anyway, we do IT for independent insurance agencies along with AI automations and web dev. And these are some of the people, the fine people that are on our team. Work with 400 agencies all across the country. I promise this advertisement will be short. My favorite slide in the deck, it's about me. I've been helping agencies, not 36 years, like 40. I started when I was 3, obviously, and spoken to thousands of insurance agents. Um, so I said the webinar is being recorded, but we also, you have any questions, there's a chat session that's open and Hannah will be monitoring the chat and feel free to interrupt us. It's okay. The goal of Insurance Hacks, and if this is your first time on Insurance Hacks, it's not about selling you products and services and things like that, but it's about sharing information that actionable information that you can use to help grow your agency. Want to talk about AppliedNet, and the best giveaway you're going to see at AppliedNet is being given away by us, and I'm picking it up on Friday. It's just announced. It's the iPhone Air, and I'm really looking forward to seeing this product and giving it away. For you to be entered in the contest, enter the iPhone giveaway form. That's right there. You know, that QR code right here. Register for a webinar. You just did that. So you've clicked one of the boxes. And then level 3 is if you want to book a meeting with us to discuss digital marketing, AI automation, IT support and security, we're happy to do that. And we're giving away Amazon gift cards. Again, here it is to Tanner. And then Sue Ann. How many years have I known you, Sue Ann? 20 something?
It's been a while. It's been a while. Yeah, over a decade, I'll tell you that.
So you're not going to find somebody more knowledgeable of insurance technology and how to work, how that technology works with independent agents of all different ages than Sue Ann. And Sue Ann's been to a lot of conferences and has uh, really, she's our go-to person. When we go to conferences, it's like, what do we do? How do we do it, et cetera. And sometimes we go as attendees, and sometimes as an Applied Net, we're going as an exhibitor. And so she's just got a plethora of expertise on this. So let's talk about the conference. We've had people come to the conference and fly in and realize they don't have a ticket. So just to save yourself some stress, make sure you've completed your registration and you've received an email confirmation of it. If you haven't booked a room yet, don't panic. My favorite hotel in Vegas is the Vidara. One of the reasons why I love the Vidara is it doesn't have a casino. So, you know, you're going to be overloaded with all sorts of stuff before this. Um, hey, Sue Ann, you want to talk about travel arrangements?
Well, travel arrangements, just booking their flights, and basically when you get to Vegas, you'll have some options as far as ride shares or there are some buses that'll take you. You can also get a limo. And what I will tell you is there's a very good chance that you'll run into somebody at the airport that's also heading to the conference. That's typically what I do, and I just we share an Uber with them.
Yeah, and so connecting with some colleagues that might be at the airport prior, to say, hey, let's share a cab in there. If you do rent a car, and I really suggest against it, if you do rent a car, um, the parking is expensive now in Vegas.
And a
And
hike.
so, yeah,
And it takes a long time to get to it. Yeah.
you're right, right. All right. So what sort of some goals do you think they should be setting before Sunan?
Well, and actually, this is where I was going to come in because we're at the point where it says review the agenda. So basically, when you get the app, you'll be able to see all the sessions. And if you are going by yourself, then this is not for, then you still need to follow this, but you're not coordinating with another attendee. Most of the time, people are sending, an agency will send more than one person. If more than one person from your agency is attending, what you want to do is basically lay out the agenda, work with your managers or agency principal. What are the classes they want you to attend, and then decide who's going to what. In other words, don't both of y'all go to the same one, right? There's no reason for that. Once you decide who's doing what, as far as the sessions, then I want you to remember that it's not a good idea to block every moment of your time while you're at this conference. This starts out with like general sessions, general meetings first thing in the morning, and then breakout sessions. I mean, it is packed. So if you try to do everything on the menu, then you will be too poop to pop at the end of the day and probably won't retain most of it. So give yourself a break, take some kind of break during the day. When you're scheduling this with the other attendee that comes from your agency, which typically happens, what I want you to do is decide before you leave how you're going to disseminate the information to the rest of the agency. So for instance, if you are going to do some classes, basically this is what I learned, then go ahead and put those meetings on the calendar now. Then everybody can see that you've got that, that you've already got it scheduled. You'll know. And when you come back, which you will come back and be swamped, right? Then that's already on the calendar and you can't get out of it, right? So go ahead and do that. That brings us on down to connect with colleagues. What, like Brad said, set the goals, download the conference app. Make sure you can do that now. Go ahead and download the conference app. It will show you your sessions, what you signed up for. If you go ahead and sign up for those, it'll show you who the exhibitors are, where the lunches are. All of that kind of stuff is on that conference app.
Yeah, and there's also like a community chat board on
Mhm.
there that will tell you about things that are going on, etc.
So when you download the app, and if you know when your flight is supposed to get in, you can say, hey, I'm coming in at such and such time. Anybody else headed to the hotel, right? That's
Right.
one of the ways that you can make new friends, connect with someone that's actually going to be there. Which is part of my notes. It says check the app, make sure. And while you're looking at the app, So check for any friends that you think might be there, any associates that you think might be there, anybody that you want to connect with. Everything is on that app, and you can go ahead and do that. One of the things that I would suggest is you can communicate via the app, but go ahead and get their cell phone numbers. That'll get you out of a tight spot sometimes, right? Because I can't stress enough, it's the most of what you will get out of this conference is Applied will show you how the system is designed to work. Other users will show you how to make the system work for your agency. Connect with them. They've got the ideas. They've already walked through this.
Yeah, and some of the best discussions happen at these round tables when you're having breakfast or lunch or whatever, right? Where you sit down with agents that you've never heard of, different parts of the country, and you just ask a question, right? Have you have you had this issue? How have you solved this issue? Those sorts of things.
So the rest on it's, review and finalize your schedule. I don't know anybody's printing material, but you may want to print your material. The next three: pack your essentials, plan your outfits, and bring comfortable shoes. I want to talk about these. Okay.
Okay, but before you talk about comfortable shoes, because I know you're going to talk about that, real ID. For some of you who maybe haven't flown in a little while, you got to bring your passport, or you've got to you've got to have a real ID.
Okay, so this is a big hotel and a big conference center, and I'm not exaggerating that. So anytime that you can save steps for you, you're going to want to do this, because it ends up being it's quite a workout. So number one, when you check into the hotel, you can always ask for a room that's close to the hotel elevator. So instead of having to walk all the way down the hall and down the corner, if they've got a room that's close to the elevator, you might want to consider that. For the conference, for the sessions, those rooms are cold. This is another one I have to stress. They're cold. Bring a sweater or a light jacket, right? The other thing that you want to do is go ahead and plan, what do I need to take to the conference with me? And you've got a conference bag. It might be a pen, paper, phone charger, that kind of stuff. But get that all together so that once you get over to the conference area, you're not having to walk back to the hotel. Okay. And it will really save you some time. And then the last on here is the shoes. Now, ladies, we all like to look sharp, especially in Las Vegas, and we like those high heels, which are wonderful. However, I would recommend that you have a bag big enough to put a pair of walking shoes. I use tennis shoes. And so when I'm walking to the conference, I'm wearing tennis shoes. Once I get into the exhibit hall or around in that area, I'll put my heels on. But you can do, some of you will be able to wear heels all the time, not all of us. So
I will not be wearing heels.
Brad.
Man, I want to make that clear.
Okay. And that takes us to the day of conference.
Okay. So always review your schedule. And one thing that I've had problems with in the past is I review my schedule, but it's in my old time zone. And so all of a sudden things aren't working right in my Outlook calendar or whatever. And so just to be aware of that. Sue Ann, you want to discuss any?
I will. It says eat a good breakfast. I love that this on here. So typically, if there is a breakfast offered by AppliedNet, it's going to be a continental breakfast. So there's no protein in it. So if you're wanting a breakfast with protein, then stop and do that before conference starts. And the other thing that I will tell you is get your coffee when the breaks are there, because they take that coffee away and it's not available till the next break. And finding a place to get a cup of coffee is another hike that you have to do. We already talked about making sure that you've got a bag that's got everything that you need in it, right? That you've already brought. The next thing is arrive early, right? So this is arrive early to the conference, arrive early to the classrooms. And the reason I say that is people typically tend to start sitting in the seats in the back of the room. So if you don't want to be on the first row, then arrive early. Or if you don't want to be standing in the back.
I've seen for more popular speakers, presenters, standing room only, right? And like Joe Pratt's, who I love, an agency owner or out here in Southern California, his sessions always get super booked. I don't even know if he's presenting this time, but just keep that in mind.
Okay.
It's nice to take a load off and
It is. And
class and
remember,
see.
it's
Yeah,
a long day.
right.
So next we have network and take advantage of the lunch breaks. And again, network, mingle, mingle, mingle. Make sure, remember that bag I said to pack? Make sure you bring some business cards, right? So you can hand out as you meet people. One of the things that you want to do is, if you are attending conference alone, make sure that you connect with a buddy. Find someone else that's attending conference alone. It is much more fun to do this conference, have lunch breaks and the evening functions with a buddy.
And you can stop by our booth. And Sue Ann has so many buddies at these conferences. She'll connect you with somebody fun who will help you out during the conference.
Okay, and also I want to tell you that during your lunch, so typically what will happen is they will have lunch in the exhibit hall. You have to walk through the exhibit hall and there'll be tables in the back. That's not sure how it's going to be this year, but I believe that's what it's going to be. If that's the case, you have a long time at lunch. Use your lunch hour to visit your exhibitors, right? Which you should have because you've already reviewed the app. You've already gone through there and you've already identified the exhibitors that everybody in the office wants you to talk to, right? So you've got a list of those exhibitors that are on there. So use that lunch break because if you wait until the reception, which is going to be later on, everybody's drinking and there's just a lot of people in there. So you'll have more one-on-one time with exhibitors during lunch.
Yeah, and may I make mention of one other thing, is that sometimes you can get into the conference hall when the conference hall is closed, right? We've seen this as exhibitors, like we're like, wait, why are there, 100 people going through? And it's like, they've just sort of left the door open, even though the exhibit hall is closed. So we didn't put that on this list, but if there's an exhibitor that you really want to talk to, number one, they can take you into the exhibit hall. And it gets crowded, especially at our booth. And, that's just an option. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, next on the agenda is take breaks. Now, remember, I already said, don't book every time slot. And invariably someone will do that, but take advantage of the breaks. Take a mental break. Just set off. And that does not mean checking your emails, your work emails. It means take a break where you're sitting down, just decompressing so you can do a reboot and get ready for the next session. Because the primary purpose for you coming to this conference is to learn, is to make connections. So make sure that you take some breaks in between. Moving on there, stay hydrated. Pace yourself with alcohol and have fun.
No day drinking.
Yeah, right. So I've been going to these conferences since 1992, and I cannot tell you how many times I've seen that first night, everybody's all hyped up, they're excited, they've gotten some free drinks at the exhibit hall, and then some other stuff is going on, and they get plastered. And then the whole next day is miserable. And I've seen this time and time and time and time again. Moderation. Just remember, you've got several days to get plastered. Wait till the last day to do that.
And don't miss your flight home.
Oh,
One
yeah.
thing I would add here is if you have any special dietary issues like I do, you when you're picking up your badge and everything, you can tell them, hey, I'm gluten-free, I'm vegan, I'm lactose intolerant, and they'll actually have meals for you that are fit your requirements. All right, so have fun.
Okay, so you have fun, you're done with conference, you've headed back on the plane, you're back home, and now you're totally wiped out, right? But you have to get ready to go back into work and answer all those emails that you haven't been answering while you were gone. So here are some tips for after conference. Organize your notes. I do it when I'm on the plane on the way home. So that when I'm done, I get home, and then I'm down for however many hours. These are some ideas that actually Hannah, who's our digital marketing person, put in here. I love these. Summarize your takeaways. Send thank you notes if you need to send thank you notes to any of the vendors or another attendee. And remember those old-fashioned thank you notes where you actually write them and you put them in the mail? People really still appreciate those. Connect with people via LinkedIn, Facebook, wherever. Look for those people so you can make that connection and build that network. The more visibility you have on social media, the more people see it, and you have their connections also. So it's always prudent to do that. You can schedule follow-up meetings with anybody that you met that you need to follow up with. The next two are share your learning, and then it says share with your team. So remember, I told you before you leave, you've already scheduled some meetings, right? Now you're putting together your notes and getting ready to share that with the team. This is an important. Go ahead, Brett.
Yeah, and if I was going to say on the share on your meetings, give yourself a week for those meetings, right? Unless you're an agency owner or business owner like me who has everybody else do everything. Yeah, it's a good idea to have a little break time.
I agree 100%. Don't let it be too long though. And the reason you don't want to wait too long is because all of that stuff that's fresh in your memory, you want to go ahead and share that while you can.
Yeah, just create these appointments, week out or whatever.
Yeah, and so coordinate with your team. Who's going to do what do they think that, who should be in these meetings, because they may not all be for everyone in the office. So all of that stuff can be planned, but you've got it on the calendar already, so you've made a commitment. And then as far as the rest of it, try to implement the new strategies that you've learned that the management team has determined. Adopt the new learnings. Keep an open mind. Someone with an open mind never rejects an idea without having tried it first. So if it's something you've never thought about doing before, give it a try. If it doesn't work, put it in the don't work basket.
Yeah. Unless it's skydiving without a parachute.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
So you're setting future goals for what you want to do. And remember, goals are measurable and attainable, right? Measurable meaning I'm able to see what this goal is, and I can actually, and it's attainable. Measurable, everybody's going to have this implemented by such and such date. That's not a measurable and an attainable. I will have 5 people that will have A, B, and C done in the next 3 weeks, right? That's measurable and attainable. And in the end, stay connected. Remember, I mentioned that I've been going to these conferences since 1992. I have people that I have not, believe it or not, there's still some of those people still around. And I still have contact with them. I have made some lifelong friends in these conference groups. Matter of fact, I have a woman and her husband coming from Old Staybrook, Connecticut, all the way down to Arkansas to visit me for the weekend. So, and these are my insurance friends that I've made over the years. So,
Yeah, that's so awesome. And on the industry events, I would be asking, we ask people that come to our booth, what other events do you go to, right? That you find particularly useful.
that's a good one. Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. All right. So again, if you want to win the iPhone Air, and we're giving away a bunch of other prizes, including our famous hangover kits. Those are so cool.
Oh, yeah.
um, uh, Here's how you do it. You enter the giveaway. You register for a webinar. Check. You've done that, and you book a meeting. And really, everyone, I think that's it. Yeah.
Hannah, do we have any questions?
I don't see. Oh, we do. We do. Let's see.
It says no.
Oh, okay. Roy Caswell, what? No day drinking? Uh, and Whitney says, I don't need the hangover kit at the conference. Don't say that. You could. It's always good to have an emergency kit. But the goodies come in handy after I was home. Yeah, yeah. Uh, uh, does the event officially start Sunday evening? Yes, is the
Oh, I did think of something else. So they're going to do the show. It's some Cirque du Soleil show. Just understand that you have to pick up your badges, then you have to go wait in line to get your tickets for that. They're assigned seats. So if you're going to go with 3 or 4 other people, you need to go together to get your tickets.
right, right. So the event does start Sunday evening. I would say it actually starts on Saturday, I think, but Sunday evening, yeah. Anything else? All right, everybody. Well, hey, we will see you in Vegas. Looking forward to it. Please, please stop by our booth, spin the wheel, and win some prizes. And you're welcome, Whitney. Thank you for joining us, all of you. Bye.
Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.